It's time to go Italian with Italian onion loaf. Alright, this is a simple Italian onion loaf and I'm going to use my handy dandy bread maker. If you don't have one, I do suggest you get one. So what I'm using is 3/4 of a cup of warm water. Now put these ingredients in the recommended order of your manufacturer. Now we have 1 tablespoon of raw sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and 1 tablespoon of soft butter. I'm going to put those in there, use my finger, and to that I'm adding 2½ cups of flour, 1/4 cup of, this is chopped dried onions, so it's 1/4 cup of dried chopped onions, and 1/8 teaspoon or a pinch of salt. Here's the cool part about this. I just hit it on the dough setting and then it's all set to go. We'll let it do its first rise, and once it's done, we'll come back and we'll finish it up with the second rise and putting it onto the pan. So I'll see you once it's all done. Okay, my bread's gone through its dough cycle, so I'm going to remove it, hopefully with no problems. Of course, I'll have a little bit of a problem. That's what happens. This is why we do these things sort of live. But what I've got, luckily, I have my fingers. So, yeah, I'm getting them all sticky and everything now. But I'm going to put the dough onto, yes, this is a marble board, but it is my first time using it. And so, of course, since it is my first time using it, I don't 100% trust it. I know. I should trust it 100%. And I'll get there, I'm sure. But I have my dough. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking my dough and I'm just putting it into a ball. You can really smell the onion. So, my dough is now a ball. I have a baking sheet that I've I heavily dusted it. It was an accident. I dusted it with cornmeal. Put my dough on my baking sheet. Now I'm going to cover it and let it rise for only 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. After those 20 minutes, I will bake it in the oven set at 425 degrees for another 20 minutes. But we'll get to that. So right now, just let the dough rise for 20 minutes covered. And I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes have passed. My bread has been raising for 20 minutes. That was a really fast 20 minutes, I want to tell you. So, I'm going to put 3 gashes in the bread, then put it in my oven. The oven is preheated at 425 degrees, and I'm going to bake this for 20 minutes. Now we're going to come back a little before 20 minutes because we're going to make up a mixture that's going to be brushed on top of it for the last 5 minutes of baking. But right now we're going to do 20 minutes at 425 degrees. See you back here in 20 minutes. Alright, I have just a few minutes just before my bread comes out of the oven, so I'm taking 1 egg white, a tablespoon of cold water, and a tablespoon of the dried onion. So that's the dried chopped onion, 1 tablespoon of the egg white, and 1 tablespoon of the water. And what I'm doing is I'm mixing that up, and I'm mixing it up pretty well. Trying to get a nice light coating so that we're getting everything mixed up. And what it's going to do is this is going to become the brushing, this is going to become a topping for my bread. So once it comes out of the oven, we will bring it out and then we will put it onto our bread. So I'll be back in just a second. My bread is fresh from the oven, and now I'm going to brush the top of it with my egg and water and onion mixture. Just coat it nicely. Try and get some of those onions on top. And I'm to make it down the sides. Just coating it nice and even. There we go. Now, once it's coated, I will put it back into the oven and it will cook for another 5 minutes. We'll be back in 5 minutes. And I removed it from the oven and put it on its rack to cool. And there you have your Italian onion loaf. If you enjoyed this recipe, please click like. You can also subscribe to this channel and see weekly recipes and also talking about food and cooking and just lifestyles. Also, you can click the link that's below in the description that leads to my blog. My blog has this recipe and many others. Please give me your comments, your ideas, your suggestions for anything you'd like to see me do or any ideas that you might have. And as always, welcome home.